Hello, I just realised this video started without me even being able to practice or think about what I was going to say. Anyway, hello everybody, welcome back to this channel. I, in theory, do one video a week, but I haven't done any for a couple of weeks. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. What I'm trying to do is to record my personal development journey over the year, and the idea originally was to do one of these every 2 weeks. Which ironically is what's happened in the last 2 weeks. I haven't done any for the last couple of weeks, but I've actually been pretty much doing one a week. And as I've said before, and I will say again, these are unvarnished, no rehearsal, and sometimes, like today, no script. They are uncut, so I won't be editing, because I'm just really going to shoot the fat, shoot the breeze, whatever the phrase is. One of the reasons why I started doing these was because I have always felt uncomfortable speaking in front of a camera. The more I've done this, the better I've become, and I can almost feel myself presenting in a different way. But that's for another time. But again, it's always about putting in the reps, practicing, trying to find what works, coming back to see what I've recorded, grimace at how tired I am and how unstructured I am, and so on. So anyway, so as I said, I haven't done any for a few weeks, and that's partly because I haven't been able to work from home. I always do these videos when I work from home, but I've had to go into the office because our team of 6 is down to 2 for 2 weeks. Not great planning by management. That's where I'll leave it. But so 2 of us have just been so rushed off our feet. In fact, I was so tired today, I've actually come home to work from home for some of this afternoon because I just could not sit at my desk. I just felt so tired. One thing I guess I was going to talk about today, which came to mind a bit earlier, is I've seen a lot of videos online, and again, the algorithm knows you're watching something, so it will give you the same kind of thing. It's about people over the age of 45, 50, 55, whatever, who are no longer working and trying to find their feet or their place in the workforce, society. Now, this is something I can I've been trying to embrace, wrong phrase. I've been trying to build a business that aligns with this kind of space. So in the past, I've been a career coach. I've also been a resume writer. I'm also an expat. And again, that's another story I need to go into another time. I'm an expat in Asia. But I remember when I was writing resumes, there were some very smart guys who I would have consultations with. So they would present their resume, I would have a consultation, I would airbrush, fill in the gaps in their resume, and then they would apply. Now, there were lots of people who were so bright, but were slightly disconnected with the way the world of work works. And what I mean by that, they've been in the workforce for 15, 20, 25 years, however many years, and they have never been out of the workforce. So they don't realise certain dynamics are at play when you are looking to apply for a job. So, for example, they would be putting on their full name, address, phone number, almost a social security number. Lots of details that are not required, but also dangerous to give out to the world. Identity theft and so on. But it's also the fact that they didn't realise that it's always important to stay relevant. And this is why I'm so into personal development. This idea that the world is moving, regardless of how I think. I could be Rip Van Winkle, sleeping for 50 years, wake up and hope that the world will embrace me as things are. Reality is, the world will move on however we like it. So we've always got to try and stay relevant. Now, there are different ways of doing that. I'm not saying if you're over 45 to start dressing like a 25-year-old. No, I wouldn't suggest that. Really, what I'm saying is to think about the technologies and the ways of working that are more relevant today than they were, say, 10, 15 years ago. Now, the obvious dynamics are, of course, things like AI, ChatGPT, Gen IA in general is going to become more important. So think about what kind of courses are available to you, whether you go onto Udemy or EDX or Coursera. See what things that you can do. Now, I'm saying this as someone that's also trying to stay very, very relevant with Gen AI by testing a few things out, trying to do some writing using Gen AI to create the formatting, things like that. So it's not about necessarily trying to become a prompt engineer or throwing yourself into it and thinking that you're going to have a full change in career. It's about making sure that you have at least a very basic understanding of the concepts in order for you to still be relevant in the workforce. So a lot of people don't actually embrace that need to stay skilled. But also, even something like working from home. Now, that doesn't sound anything spectacular, but I'm sure a lot of people who've been in the workforce for many years still see a certain way of working as being the relevant way of working, the only way of working. The other day I had a meeting with some outside suppliers, let's put it that way, in terms of financial services. And before I went to the meeting, I thought, do I need to wear a tie? And I thought, no, people have stopped wearing ties in those kind of dynamics a long time ago, where I am effectively the client. And sure enough, I turned up at the meeting, they didn't have ties on, I didn't have a tie on, and it was normal. Now, that's just a small thing, but you've got to kind of know the language of the environment that you're operating in. And that's something, again, I'm learning along the way as well. So this is really about, I don't know, again, staying relevant. So check out these videos if you are in that age group, and I am in the kind of, the 45 to 65 type of world that people are talking about. I haven't seen any 65 or 60-year-old ones, but you know what I mean. Later end of career where age discrimination will happen, no doubt, even though it's not as obvious in some cases. Oh, you're too experienced. Oh, you don't fit into the culture of this place. Oh, I'm not sure whether you can X, Y, and Z. We get it. Age discrimination. If you are facing that kind of thing, think about how ways in which you can stay up to date. So what things date you on your CV? Again, when I used to do a CV, I used to make sure, and again, I was trained to be a professional resume writer by the company I work for, always to make sure you didn't put the date of your school, your high school, when you left, because it's easy maths. It's like it tells them how long ago you were working there, or were studying there. Don't put in your earliest jobs. Because how relevant is a job that you started 35, 40 years ago? Probably not much. But also, it does date you. It really does. So think about it when you're writing your resume, what things you've got on there that completely date you. Don't put on Lotus 123, for example, because who uses Lotus 123 now? Things like that. Basics, but basic things that will date you. Okay, so this is going to be the end of this video. I've actually provided some tips in this one. I think going forward, I will try and add some more of my experience in resume writing, career coaching, and my day job, which is actually in finance, to make this actually more relevant. Not just me talking about how I've tried to do something over the last week. There will be some of that, but ultimately it's about trying to help others, or at least provide some value for others. Okay, so that's it for now. This could be my last video for a few weeks. I'm going on holiday, so I don't think I'm going to have as much chance with the family around, but I might try to get one in. Anyway, for now, bye bye.